Am I the asshole for moving my alcoholic dad in with me to essentially let him drink himself to death? My siblings are furious, but they've done nothing. I need to preface this by saying I already know how this looks. I know what the title reads like. But I need people who haven't lived inside this nightmare to understand what it actually means to watch someone you love destroy themselves in slow motion for your entire life. My dad is 58 years old. I am 22. I have a half-sister who is 45 and a full brother who is 24. Both of them live in different states now. Both of them left. And I don't entirely blame them for that. This family has always been a storm, and some people have the good sense to get out before it swallows them whole. But here's what I need you to understand. I didn't stay behind to take care of my dad. I just never fully escaped. And somewhere along the way, without anyone asking me, without anyone appointing me, I became his only lifeline. My dad has been a severe alcoholic for as long as I have memories. That's not an exaggeration, that's just the truth. My earliest images of him involve alcohol in some form. Over the decades, he has cycled through rehabilitation programs more times than I can honestly count. He has been arrested for public intoxication, public indecency, and DUI well over 20 times. There are other charges, other incidents, other moments of chaos and humiliation that I won't detail here because they'd probably violate the rules of this forum, but trust me when I say the list is long, and every entry on it has a face. And that face is my father's. By the time we arrived at this decision, my dad was destitute. Not struggling, destitute. Malnourished, barely coherent, his body beginning to stage a rebellion against the decades of abuse he'd put it through. He had been diagnosed with advanced alcohol-related dementia. And here's the cruel irony of that disease that most people don't know. He was actually worse when he wasn't drinking. The withdrawal would send his mind somewhere dark and unreachable. The alcohol, at this point, wasn't a choice so much as a biological hostage situation. My sister, ever the organizer, ever the one who swoops in with solutions that don't require her physical presence, arranged for him to be placed in a long-term care facility. State-funded. Relatively close to me, naturally. I want to be fair. She did do something. She made calls. She signed forms. She coordinated. But then she went back to her life in another state, back to her real estate listings and her reputation and her carefully maintained distance from all of this. I visited him twice in that facility. I don't know how to explain what I saw in a way that will land correctly for people who haven't seen it. I kept thinking about movies, about the scenes in films where someone ends up in some crumbling institution, and you think, that's dramatic, that's Hollywood, real places aren't like that. They are. Some of them are exactly like that. The smell hit me first, both times. Then the noise. Then my dad, sitting in a room that felt like it had given up on itself, looking at me with eyes that were sometimes present and sometimes 1,000 miles away. They caught him stealing alcohol wipes. Stealing them to suck on them. To extract whatever trace of something, anything, that might dull the edges of his reality. That image has not left me. During one of his coherent moments, and I want to be clear that these windows were narrow and unpredictable, he looked at me and he said,
"Get me out of here."
I was honest with him. I told him that the second he had access to real alcohol, he would drink. He wouldn't be able to stop himself. We both knew that. He looked at me for a long moment, and then he said, quietly, with a steadiness that honestly frightened me because it felt so clear and so final.
"I know. I'm ready to die. I'm at peace with it."
I drove home and sat in my driveway for a long time. My husband and I talked about it for days. We didn't make this decision over a single emotional conversation. We sat with it. We fought about it a little. We cried about it a lot. We hired a specialist to come and actually examine my father and give us an honest medical assessment. The doctor told us plainly, if my father has access to alcohol and continues drinking, he likely has 6 months left. Maybe less. 6 months. So we made a decision that I suspect will follow me for the rest of my life, one way or another. We remodeled part of our home, nothing extravagant, just modifications to make it accessible, to make sure he could reach the bathroom safely, to give him a space with some dignity. And we told him, you can come live with us. We will buy you a 30-pack of cheap beer every single day. You can stay until you're gone. You will not be alone. I want you to sit with what that means. What we are giving him, and what we are giving up. He is not covered in bed bugs. He is clean. He has a real bathroom. He has people who actually know his name sitting nearby. He has food that isn't crawling with roaches. He has television. He has some semblance of routine. He has, and I think this matters more than people realize, the knowledge that he is wanted somewhere. That someone opened a door for him. He is not funding his habit by stealing from strangers. He is not stumbling through parking lots getting arrested. He is not dying in an institution that smells like industrial cleaner and forgotten people. Is he dying? Yes. He was dying regardless. That was already decided. When I told my siblings, the response was immediate and furious. My sister told me I had essentially signed our father's death warrant. That he was on a path to recovery in that facility. I asked her gently at first, and then less gently when she had last visited him. I described the wipes. I described the room. I offered her an alternative. She could arrange to have him move to a facility near her. She could be the one to visit. She could be the one to sit across from him during those narrow windows of coherence and explain why this is all for his own good. She told me she couldn't do that because of her reputation as a real estate agent. I laughed. I actually laughed out loud, and I felt a little bad about it, but not that bad. My brother said he didn't want his children to see their grandfather in this condition. I understand protecting your kids, I genuinely do. But that answer, delivered while he sat safely in another state, offering nothing but criticism for the choices I was making alone, I have very little patience for it. Here's what I keep coming back to. My father has made catastrophic choices. He has caused real damage to himself, to us, to strangers, to relationships that can never be repaired. I am not pretending otherwise. This is not a redemption story. There is no triumphant ending here. But he is a human being. He is 58 years old and his mind is deteriorating, and he spent 2 months in a place that I would not leave an animal in. He asked me clearly, coherently, in one of the last windows where he was really him, to let him die with some measure of dignity. I said yes. Maybe that makes me the villain in some telling of the story. Maybe I should have fought harder for the recovery that my sister believes was just around the corner, the recovery that has never materialized in the entire 22 years I've been alive. Maybe I should have deferred to the siblings who've watched this from a comfortable distance and formed very confident opinions about how it should be managed. But I was the one who sat in that facility. I was the one in the driveway. I am the one who sees him every single day now. So am I the asshole? You tell me. But whatever the verdict is, I'll carry it from right here, where I've always been.